Hey guys, Lori here, pharmacist. So yesterday I made the video about the pneumonia vaccine, and I sent a link, I posted on YouTube, sent a link to the good doctor that I've been going back and forth with. All right, here was his response. "You are such a liar!" Exclamation point. "You know the pneumonia vaccine is just for strep pneumonia and does not presume to prevent all pneumonias. This proves once again you are not interested in the truth." Of course, I sent back, how am I lying? I actually didn't realize it was all for strep pneumonia. And I'm really not sure what bearing that has on anything, in the sense that I don't think that the average person is really concerned about the strain of pneumonia that they're being protected against, supposedly at 60 to 70%. But they're interested in, does the vaccine work, and is it going to keep them from getting pneumonia, whatever strain may happen to come along. So I asked him how I was lying, to which I've not gotten a response. I did do some research to make sure it's strep pneumonia. I can find where it is for the Prevnar 13. I know that'll be a load off of y'all's mind. Pneumovax, it lists all the strains, but I don't know that they're necessarily strep. But I'll be honest with you, I don't really care, because this really got me to thinking to another level that I didn't bring out, I didn't even think of, but I think is really huge. And that is the fact that the vaccine strains, whatever they are the only thing that the vaccines protect against. So there's over 90 strains that we know of pneumonia. And I'm not sure, I've been trying to research how many strains. I'm not sure if that includes the viral that we know of and the bacterial, meningitis type pneumonia. I don't know that for sure. I'm just gonna be real honest with you. I don't know everything here, and I don't presume to. But you gotta think, if there's at least 90% of strains out there, and we've got one that covers for 13 and then another one that covers for 23, that brings us to what, 30 something strains that is totally covered. And the vaccine for those strains only is still only 60-70% effective. So that means 2/3 of the strains that are out there you're not even covered for, and the ones the vaccine protects, you're only 60-70% covered again. I mean, what kind of insurance policy is that? What if they came to you and you're trying to buy automobile insurance, and they said, well, here's the deal. We're only going to cover you for a little over a third of the types of accidents you're going to have. Here's your list. If anything happens outside of that, and we've classified about 90 different ways that people can get into vehicular accidents, but you're only going to be covered for a little over a third. Who would sign up for that? And then not only that, you're only covered for a little over a third, but there could be some complications. And so it's really only 60 to 70% of the third of that kind of accidents that you could get into that we're going to cover. Who would buy that kind of insurance? I mean, what a complete joke. Which brings me to exactly what the flu vaccine is. A complete joke. All right, I'm going to bring you in something else. Once he brought that to my attention, and thank you for that, doctor, because I think that is a very important point, and that we should all consider that when we are either going to inject our children, ourselves, or counsel our grandparents or parents or whatever to go run out and get that pneumovax or the Prevnar or whatever. And thinking that we're actually going to be covered for every kind of pneumonia out there, because clearly we are not, but we're still going to get phenol injected into us with the one, or aluminum with a little polysorbate 80 and some diphtheria toxoid. It's going to be great. In addition, what do vaccines do? Well, they weaken the immune system. And this, by and large, is why they cause more the spread of pneumonia and the flu than they actually stop. Because when you get injected with an antigen and then whatever the adjuvant and all the other crap they put that was never intended to be injected, I don't care if it occurs in nature or not. Apples occur in nature. You don't see me pulverizing them and drawing it up into a syringe and injecting it because I'm just gonna go ahead and get those nutrients right into my bloodstream. No. Same with anything that occurs in nature. Just turn around and say, oh, well, I'm gonna inject it and it's all gonna work out fine. You know, the joke's on you. And we can see where that's gotten us. Thank you very much. Okay, so what happens? You get that shot. You know, you can look it up. The CDC will tell you with the flu shot, it takes you 2 to 4 weeks to mount an immune response. With the pneumonia shot, they say it's 2 to 3 weeks. The point is, during that time, your body is fighting, okay? It's fighting. It's fighting against what was injected into it. It would be fighting if you'd been exposed to a person that had the flu or some kind of flu-like illness or a respiratory illness or a stomach bug. You know, your body, how many times have you said, God, I feel like I'm coming down with something? And so you just kind of get a little more rest, you kind of beef up the amount of fruit and vegetables you're eating, and lo and behold, your body staves it off, which is what we want. That's what we want every time, right? But when you inject somebody with the antigens and the toxins that are in one of these vaccines, flu and pneumonia, you just immunocompromise them. It's like punching them in the face. You just punched them in the face, and then you think, oh, and then you send them back to work. Oh yeah, you're fine, you're fine. No, everything's good. Even though it's going to take your body 2 to 4 weeks to mount that immune response, you're good. No, you're not. You're not good. Your immune system is hugely weakened at that point. So that means all the other types of pneumonia, all the other types of flu that you didn't get injected for, and as we know, then we got the flu strains that are running around that they've guessed on and put in that syringe. We've got the pneumonia strains that they've decided these are the most prominent types of pneumonia, so this is what's going to keep you protected. That comes along, or a viral pneumonia. Well, guess what? Your body you're so busy fighting off that vaccine, whatever it is just jumped on your butt, and then you're sick. And then you got the flu vaccine, you got the pneumonia vaccine, and you still got, voila, the flu or pneumonia, because your body can't handle all of that attack. And then you're walking around thinking you're fine, even though you feel like crap, because anybody knows after they got the flu vaccine or the pneumonia vaccine, they feel like crap. It's because your body's working to get rid of it. It's going, oh my God, oh my God. I mean, I don't understand why this is so difficult, people, for doctors to get. I just don't understand. And at the end of the day, the reality of it is they're clueless when it comes to the immune system. They're absolutely flippin' clueless, and they think that you can just inject something and then it's gonna work. And we can see from how sick society is, we can see from how every year the numbers are spreading as far as the flu, and all these numbers of people are dying. They say the flu, but it's really the flu and pneumonia combined. If you do your research and look at the actual statistics, they always combine them together every year. And you know what? It's only the people that died of the influenza strains that they swab for. Like if it was maybe a respiratory illness, but it wasn't technically influenza and this person died, it didn't go on the radar. I don't know what they list as the cause of death. Other respiratory illnesses, not really sure how that works. Anyway, guys, how long are we going to put up with this bullshit? And I'm calling it what it is. It's bullshit. It is not working. We're killing the children. Another interesting thing, you can go on the CDC website and just Google flu vaccine effectiveness, and it'll give you a total, like last year comes in 47%. Well, you can look and it breaks it down into each age group. And guess which age group has the absolute lowest coverage, hands down? It's the people over 50. The ones that really need it, that we were originally injecting to begin with. Sorry guys, my takeaway, informed consent, do your research. But I don't think from the numbers and how sick society is that we can say this vaccination program is working. And part of the reason it is, matter of fact, a huge reason, it's probably the reason it's not working, is because you're trying to introduce antigens into the body in a completely unnatural way. If we're ever going to understand the immune system, if we're ever going to be able to develop a vaccine that truly works, it's going to have to go in line with the way the body already gets that disease. It either through inhalation or through ingestion, or skin to skin touching, or whatever. You cannot take diseases that are spread one way and then try to attempt to get the body to react by injecting them in another way. It doesn't work. We can see it's not working. All right, just a follow-up. Love you guys. Talk soon.